You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sports Khabri. Today we have with us another combat sports rising star of our country, Takusenla, fondly called as Asin. Welcome to Sports Khabri, Asin.
Thank you for having me.
So Asin, how did you get into the world of combat sports?
Okay, so since teenage years, my dad, every Sunday morning, my dad would turn on the TV and watch UFC. So and then that's from early morning Sunday, every morning he wouldn't miss it, and so I would also sit with him and then watch. So that's how I got into MMA.
That's nice. And when did you decide that you want to turn into a professional combat sports athlete?
I didn't really decide it. So I think it was the interest of me and my dad also. I think it's like I'm carrying my passion, my dad's passion together with me. So yeah, I never really thought about it. It wasn't a plan from before. I would get into MMA and be a professional fighter. It wasn't a plan at all. It just clicked once, and then I'm like, okay, I'll do this, and I just left home and then came here. That's how.
And for how long have you been into the sport? At what age did you start?
Okay, so it's not long. It's been only 1 year. So I came here last year on April, and so it's been 1 year. I started from October last year, and then 1 year, October, November, 1 year and 1 month. Yeah, I've completed the year in a month. It's not long.
You said that you used to watch UFC every Sunday from morning to evening. Who was your biggest inspiration in UFC? One athlete you looked up to and you were like, this is what I want to become.
Okay, so there's not only one, there are many. I'm inspired by their different person, their different style, their different, how they say kick, punch, their different style. So I've always looked up to there's this fighter called Ronda Rousey. She don't play now. She left UFC, but when I started watching, she used to be there. So I always looked up to her, the way her signature style, say the armbar. And then there's also one Kristen. Her ring name is Chris Cyborg. She was in UFC, but now she's in Bellator. She competes in Bellator now. So that's also another player. And then from the one championship, there's Itsuki. So I always looked up to her, the way her style. Yeah, there are many, not only one, but there are several fighters who I look up to.
Let's talk about the fights. What goes into your mind before you enter the cage?
That's why I'm always nervous. I don't think much, but okay, let's wrap this up as soon as possible and just get out of here and go get a drink, grab a drink. That's what goes on my mind all the time.
Okay, and what kind of fights do you like? I mean, do you like to stand opposite the players or just, take them to the ground and...
I think exchanging some punches would be that's what I'd love. But also these days I'm getting into grappling. So maybe both, I think.
So which are some of the striking or submission techniques that are very visible in your style of play?
Okay, so I'd say rear neck choke. It's very difficult to get that position, but when you do, it's very difficult to get out of there also. So yeah, that's it.
And tell us something about your training schedule. How busy are your days? How do you plan your training schedule? How do you balance them with the recovery time?
So I should say my days are not that busy, my personal, because I'm all I don't have any other schedules. It's about my training only. So there are trainings in the mornings also, and then there are trainings in the evening, and then there are like other karate classes also. So in the mornings I usually don't go because I sleep very late. But in the evening I do go for training. Sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 2-3 hours like that. So it's not very difficult for me like to schedule with other work because I'm like free most of the time. So yeah, it's all about the training.
So, what's the most central part of your training?
The most central part of my training will be it's not only about like learning the techniques or like the punches and kicks, but it's also about like making myself like tougher so that I can take the punches and beats from others also and then and still carry it on. Yeah, that's it.
And how difficult is it to stay disciplined and stay focused in mixed martial arts? It's a difficult sport, like it's not as
Yeah.
so how
Yes.
difficult is it for you to stay focused and stay disciplined and make sure that you're following the guidances of your coaches?
Mm. Yes, so it is, I should say this not so easy because I have like many different patients hobbies. Like I'd have to travel, like I say, biking, bike trips, yeah, playing sports and all. And so I get distracted from all of that, and then sometimes I miss training. Also, that's how my coach. I always get scolded from my coach. Yeah, so it is not so easy, but still, like I try to remember my goal, like, and that helps me focus on my training. It is not so easy, like frankly, but at the end of the day, you have to stay focused on your goal. So yeah.
Yeah. And what's your goal? Where do you see yourself 5 years down the line?
I don't know. Maybe the one of the greatest fighters.
I'm sure that's going to happen. And we'll proudly say that, you spoke with Sports Khabri and we together spoke about this.
Yeah.
There's a big fight coming up in Mumbai in a couple of weeks. How are you preparing for it, for the Mafi Combat Sports Festival?
So frankly, I'm not really prepared because I've been sick for like almost 3 weeks now. So in but let's say like yes, I'm fighting. Whether I'm prepared or not, I am fighting, and I'm hoping for the best. So yeah, that.
I'm sure it will go really well, Asin, and wish you all the very best for it and wish you very speedy recovery as well. I'm sure it's going to go great. Thank you so much for speaking with Sports Khabri.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good luck. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.